Good morning. Today is section 90, verses 13 through 24. Obviously, I need to either wear my glasses or bring my reading list closer. Every day I feel like it gets farther and farther away and I can't see it. Anyways, all right. 13 through 24. There's some good stuff in here. So it's more instruction for the prophet. The hunk of the verses are about living arrangements for the counselors, Frederick G. Williams and Sidney Rigdon. But it's mainly so the Lord is saying, once you finish the translation, here's what you're going to do now. Basically, you shall from thenceforth preside over the affairs of the church and the school. So he's saying, okay, translation's done. This was really important. But now we're going to move into administrative work. So now Joseph has to step into the president of the church role. He'd been acting as prophet, and now it's president of the church. He's got to look over the school. He's got to look over the affairs of the saints. He's got to, delegate here and there. And so these are just some words of advice or some instructions on what is to come next. I was trying to think if there was anything in the podcast about this that I wanted to say. Anyways, the good stuff is in 17 and 18 and 24. Stuff that can be applied to us. In the podcast, they say, if the prophet has to do these things, then shouldn't we? And with that kind of mindset, reading these scriptures last night, it was like, okay, if the prophet has to do these things, then I should probably look into them. Anyways, let's read them. Be not ashamed, neither confounded, but be admonished in all your high-mindedness and pride, for it bringeth a snare upon your souls. I'm proud, okay? I'm proud, I'm prideful. It's human nature to be that way. And I let it get the best of me. Sometimes, all the time. I'm not perfect, okay? But what I liked about these verses, or this verse in particular about pride, was he's not saying, be not ashamed, period. He's saying, don't be ashamed, but be admonished. Okay, so I think it was a conversation I had with Wendy, possibly years ago or something, where remorse is good, guilt is not. So when we commit a sin, it is good to feel remorseful. We're meant to feel remorseful, but guilt is not the ultimate feeling we should be feeling. Guilt leads us to feel remorse and to repent, but it's not. With guilt, it kind of eats away at you a little bit. Guilt is a woe is me, oh poor me type. It's a selfish feeling, whereas remorseful is, I want to make this right. I want to do right. So he's saying, be not ashamed, but be admonished. You're a little proud. And it says, for it bringeth a snare upon your souls. And I think we can all understand why, All right, then 18. Set in order your houses. Keep slothfulness and uncleanness far from you. I think we all know how we feel when we're lazy, when we just sit there all day and do nothing, or just laying on the couch watching TV for hours on end. You don't feel good after it. You don't feel good during it. You don't feel good after it. And you're like, I want to get up. I want to do something. I want to do something. I know that when I just sit and do nothing, or like I don't have a project to work on at work, I get so, zoned out or something. Like I'll just sit and watch YouTube, and then when a customer comes in, I'll have to like shake myself back awake. Like I was, it's crazy. So I like to have projects at work, and anyways, where was it? Okay. Then 24, search diligently, pray always, and be believing, and all things shall work together for your good, if ye walk uprightly, and remember the covenant wherewith ye have covenanted one with another. Just good advice. Just great advice that we can all apply into our own lives. Search diligently. Always be questioning, not questioning, not questioning to find fault, but questioning to find the deeper meaning behind it, to find why things are the way they are. Don't take anything at face value, especially in this day and age. I was talking to Starla last night, and I told her, I said, I just wish there was someone I could trust. I wish I could trust someone, So search diligently, pray always, and be believing, and all things shall work together for your good. If ye walk uprightly, and remember the covenant wherewith ye have covenanted one with another. There was also one more. 15. This is the one. I was looking for this one as well. And set in order the churches, and study and learn and become acquainted with all good books, and with languages, tongues, and people. So if the prophet has to seek out good books and become acquainted with languages, tongues, and peoples, then we should too. If he has to study and learn, then we should too. And I was like, okay, after listening to the podcast and then studying these sections this week, I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break from crafting, because that's what I do at work. I'm going to take a break from that, and I'm going to read a book at work. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to keep my mind engaged, and I can pause it real easily and help customers. I'm going to read a book. And I brought a book, and I opened it up, and I read 2 sentences, and I was like, this is horrible. And I put it down. I don't know. I don't know how to get back into reading. I used to love reading. I used to read books like crazy. Not as much as Wendy, mind you. Okay, not as much as her. But I used to read, and I don't anymore, and I can't find a book that gives me interest in reading. Romance novels, boring. History, meh. Church doctrine books, possibly, I don't know, possibly. Maybe I'll try that, I don't know. I gotta find something, because, I can't just craft myself to death. I could try, I've been trying, but I can't craft myself to death. The craft bag gets a little heavy to carry to work every day. Anyways, so those are the verses I liked. None of them are addressed in the Ludlow. None are addressed in the Ludlow at all, except for set your houses in order. We'll just read this one. It's from J. Reuben Clark from October 1942. Now, are you living so that you can go to the Lord with reasonable confidence that he will hear you? Can you go and ask him to heal your little ones, or yourselves, or your wife? If you can, when the time comes, you will be happy, and you will go to the Lord in faith, and the prayer of faith availeth much. So I think with this and with the verses we've been talking about and the question he asked, are you living in such a way that you can go to the Lord in confidence and know that if you ask him for something, he'll give it to you? I think that's a weighty question. That's a very weighty question. I always struggle with my prayers being meaningful, especially at the end of the day when I'm climbing into bed and it just feels very repetitive every single night. But, you know, do I have confidence that he's going to grant those things? And if I had a really big need, am I living in such a way that I can have confidence that he will bless me? That's a weighty question. All right. That was section 90, verses 13 through 24. All right. Talk to you later.